Horse Tales is proudly brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. South Carolina, a true leader in the equine industry.
Folks, got a great show lined up for you here today. My good friend Joe Most from Perfect Partners Equine made a trip down here. Joe, been a lot going on in my life. A lot of friends I know have had some riding accidents lately, and it's been on my heart. I told my folks that Horse Tales was going to be an entertaining and informative show. So today we're going to have mostly informative, folks, and I'm sure with Joe Most around, it's going to be a little entertaining. But Joe is going to really, folks, take us from A to Z, and we're going to talk about safety today, folks. I've been very fortunate that I hadn't got hurt real serious on a horse. I did bump my knee up a little bit, Joe, but I got through that. So, folks, we're going to have a special treat. Joe's going to take us through, once again, A to Z. What do you say, Joe?
I'll say whatever you want to do, I'm here to help you with.
And folks, we got DP, he's going to help us out, and we got Tough. So hopefully old DP's going to behave himself here today. He ain't got quite the etiquette old Tough does, but we're going to see what we can get done. Joe, welcome to the Grant Ranch. Let's get after it.
Let's do it.
Horse Tales is being brought to you by Perfect Partners Equine, a unique team approach to horse training. Brought to you by Joy Lewis Performance Horses for training, lessons, and boarding. See my good friend Joy Lewis down in Conway, South Carolina. Brought to you by Booty Brothers Western Store in Florence, South Carolina, and Lumberton, North Carolina, carrying the largest inventory of cowboy and work boots. Right on into Booty Brothers and mention Horse Tales, and then with a $50 order, you'll get a koozie. And a $100 order gets you a Marsh tacky hat. And folks, supplies are limited. Right into one of 7 family-owned John Dro's Piggly Wigglies and ask for Carolina Fresh Foods 3-pack fresh frozen chicken products. Always consistent quality and value for you, our valued customers. Carolina Fresh Foods. We are Fresh Delicious.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones time and time again. Then along came the Michelin man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Michelin Hydro Edge tires last up to 33,000 miles longer. Michelin, a better way forward.
Folks, the Pee Dee Cowboy arrives for the brand, and my brand is Carolina Fresh Foods. We have a new product out on the range. So right on into your local Piggly Wiggly or other fine retailer and ask for Carolina Fresh Premium Leg Quarter. And folks, if they don't have one in the corral, tell them to get cracking and call the old Pee Dee Cowboy and his elite posse of chicken wranglers. Carolina Fresh Foods, the name says it all. We are Fresh Delicious.
2014 is the year of the horse. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to promote your horses and your business. We are working to open new areas for trail use and to let the public know how important horses are. South Carolina has world-class horses and horse people. From race horses to show horses, we have the best. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture, letting people know how important horses are.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
Folks, welcome back to the show. Master teacher, student. Folks, last night we was having a good meal of chicken wings. And I said, Joe, we're going to talk about safety tomorrow. This is what we're going to do. He said, no. We're going to go the way I want to do it, the way I do in one of my clinics. So, folks, I'm going to turn it over to a good friend and clinician, Joe Most.
Okay, everything's about preparation. The more prepared not only you can be on your horse, but the more you can prepare your horse, the better everything's going to turn out. What I like to start everybody with, David, is learning how to bend your horse. Without having a soft, supple face and being able to bend your horse, everything else gets harder. We have to be able to bend our horse to soften them. If we pull back on 2 reins, we strengthen every muscle across their spine and their back, and they get strong with us. So what we want to do is be able to soften and bend them. Bending is the foundation for any other thing that you're going to do on their back. So what I like to be able to do is I start with a light bend and I wait for them to come to me, okay? I want to be able to reach down my rein and pull my rein up to the seam of my jean to my waist. And I wait for my horse to soften and put slack in that rein. So why don't you go ahead and
let me interrupt, folks, and get back here. You see who has control over their horse, so, and excuse me for interrupting, but DP's been out in the pasture with his girlfriend, so I've got to get him situated here. So go ahead, Joe, I'm sorry.
So this is actually a perfect thing to show everybody because DP's acting like a fresh horse. So this way you get your horse to think and be with you. So what you want to do, you've got a pair of split reins, I've got some loop reins. So with a pair of split reins, what you're going to do is lift them up, reach down as far as you can, and follow the seam of your jeans right up to your waist and hold it. Now you've got to put some slack in that left rein.
All right.
Okay?
Please.
And hold it till his feet quit moving.
Okay.
Okay? As his feet are moving, you hold. When he stops and relaxes, throw that rein away. That's the key to this. Hold it till his feet quit moving and he stops and relaxes. So go ahead and give it a try. Okay, folks, a couple things that Dave's doing that's right and a couple things that's wrong. What I'd like to see him do is one, is cross his reins to make a bridge.
Okay.
The right rein goes to the left side, the left rein goes to the right side. Now you can make a bridge. The bridge is going to be how much rein you've got in between your hands. Now you can kind of pick those reins up and hold them. Okay? So, you can grab it in the middle, reach down. Now don't bend your wrist. Hold your wrist straight, pull it straight up to your waist. And hold, hold, hold.
All right, and
then let him drop, let him relax, okay? Now, when he's standing, allow those reins to drop. Put some slack in those reins. Give it back to him. Reach down, pick him up. Bend. Don't bend your wrist, hold it straight. Don't bend your wrist.
All right.
Okay, reach down. Right back up to your seam your jeans, right to your belt, and hold it. When you see a little slack go in that rein, that's when you throw it away. That's it. Now, whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other. So go ahead and work that other side. DP's starting to calm down and relax a little bit already, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead and do the other side real quick.
Okay.
Now you got to loosen that right rein. You got to give him a place to go to bend. Okay? The hardest thing in training a horse is finding a place to start. Actually, you're just pulling a little too much.
Okay.
Okay, because he's trying to fight his head. Now you do have a broken bit here. Even though it's a shank bit, it's broken, so it's basically still considered a snaffle. So go ahead and reach down with that left hand.
Okay.
Okay. And wait on him. Wait, wait. Okay, now he's starting to come around a little softer. Now you can go. See the difference by just pulling or
so he just get
allowing him to find the place to come to you. Okay. The more you can bend, the softer you can get him, the more relaxed he's going to become, and give him a place to go to relax. The more you bend, the more you soften, the softer he'll be overall. Okay.
So, folks, let me interject here. Rode, I've been riding a long time. Feel like I'm a pretty good rider. Been around Joe a little bit and really realized that I don't know how to ride. And I've been around Joe a little bit. And so today, folks, I am really getting out of my comfort zone a little bit because I do want to improve. And it's I'm 57 years old. I got a lot to learn. So it's a little humbling for me to sit here and take instructions. So I want to encourage you folks at home, hey, listen, you get opportunity to learn from somebody above you, you need to do that. You need to have the courage to do that. So folks, I'm going to try to relax and really try to let y'all see how it's not to be done. And Joe will teach me, so hopefully at the end of this show that we're all going to be a little better.
Okay, David. Now, we've already started teaching your horse how to bend, so it's all about preparing them. So after you've taught your horse to start bending, which you still need a lot more work on. But,
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. So now that we've got them started to bending, now we can start moving their feet and turn that one little bend into a one-rein stop. Any snaffle bit that you use, snaffles and bozels, are designed to be used one rein at a time. And if you actually go into the dressage world, this one rein stop will turn into what's called a half halt.
A what now?
A half halt.
Okay.
Okay, so what you want to do is begin to start walking your horse, okay? Begin to start moving forward. Reach down just like you did. Bring that hand up to your waist and bend your horse to a stop. Okay? A one rein stop. Now as you progress, you just begin to start picking up and stopping with that one rein. I know folks at home couldn't see that, but show that again. Walk around so that the cameraman can pick you up. Here's David. He's supposed to be the guy on TV, and he's blocking the view for the camera. But come on around. Yes, that's it. Now we don't have to begin, now once we get them working that way, we won't have to pull back on both reins. We'll be able to save that other rein for something else.
All right, folks, we're leading up to some things. Control catastrophe, because I'm an uncontrollable catastrophe. All right, Jay.
This is something that you can practice at home. We can give you a little bit of a demonstration, and it's going to take at least 2 people to do this. But if you start preparing yourself at home and learn how to control and face your horse to a scary object or something that's going to bother your horse, you can create muscle memory and begin to get your horse to learn how to control their emotions and themselves. But the most important thing is learning what to do with your horse and how to control yourself and build that muscle memory so that when it happens, you don't have to think about it. Boom, you know how to react. So this is building all of that, and which will eventually, you'll learn how to control a rearing horse, a bucking horse, or a horse that's spooking at something. So we'll get started on that, I guess, just as soon as we get back. Is that right? We're going to do that?
Let's go. Let's ride over here and take a little quick break, and let's go.
Let's go.
Horse Tales is being brought to you today by Nationwide Insurance. When the Pee Dee Cowboy rides, he rides with Nationwide on his side. By Southern Equine. Horse Tales is being brought to you today by Kingstree Auction Company, selling land and farm equipment. Call Alton Brown today at 843-382-2121. By Equestrian Images, making memories together. Folks, ride on into Dillon Meat Center in Dillon, South Carolina, and check out their full line of Carolina Fresh Foods poultry. Tell Douglas and Terry Wayne Jackson the old Pee Dee Cowboy said, come by and take home a package of Carolina Fresh Foods. By the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, a leader in the equine industry. Brought to you by MORRELL Tire Service, Latta, South Carolina. Folks, ride on down to MORRELL Tire and let Richard and his professional staff treat you like family. Folks, the Pee Dee Cowboy rides for the brand, and my brand is Carolina Fresh Foods. We have a new product out on the range, so ride on into your local Piggly Wiggly or other fine retailer and ask for Carolina Fresh Premium Leg Quarters. And folks, if they don't have one in the corral, tell them to get cracking and call the old Pee Dee Cowboy and his elite posse of chicken wranglers. Carolina Fresh Foods, the name says it all. We are Freshalicious.
2014 is the year of the horse. South Carolina's horse industry is one of the best kept secrets in the state, with a huge economic impact. The thoroughbred racing industry alone is worth about $200 million in our state. We have dozens of training tracks in rural areas, in addition to the ones in Aiken and Camden. Horses provide jobs all over South Carolina. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to promote your horses and your business.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones time and time again. Then along came the Michelin man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Michelin Hydro Edge tires last up to 33,000 miles longer. Michelin, a better way forward.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
Folks, welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit about Control Catastrophe Joe. Just started back riding when I was 45, 57 now. Had horses when I was growing up. A lot out of here was about rearing up and falling back, was always scared me. Had a friend that got killed from that situation, an experienced horse person. So folks, that's what we're trying to do today. If we can help one person to alleviate something like that, it'd be well done. So roll them, Joe.
Well, accidents are going to happen, but if we can prepare ourselves and know what to do in a situation, maybe we can stop what's going to happen from happening, if we can build that muscle memory. So what we're going to do here is teach people how to set themselves up for what we call controlled catastrophe. We've already started learning how to bend our horse, which is the very basis.
Folks, hold on a minute, I'm getting in position. I'm kind of proud of my little stud here. He's getting a little antsy, so, all right, Joe, sorry.
Keep bending. So what we're going to do is we're going to have my wife, Penny, with some flags and plastic bags. Most horses don't like that, so we can bring the tempo up or bring it down depending on what the horse needs. Here's what you're going to do. As Penny brings these bags and flaps them, you're going to bend your horse and look at the scary object. Okay?
You? Oh, no, that scary object. Excuse me, Joe.
Whatever the scary object is, it just happens to be today, it's Penny with some plastic bags. So, but here's the thing. You're going to teach yourself how to handle that and begin to start teaching your horse how to handle it too. Create muscle memory, not only in you, but your horse. So as the plastic bags come at us flapping, you want to bend your horse and look at the scary object. No matter where your horse goes, keep it bent and looking at that scary object until they stop moving their feet. Do not take your eyes or your horse's eyes off of the scary object. So if you like, I'll demonstrate first and then you can come on with me. And
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be bold. I'm going with you.
Okay, come on with me. So
it can't be no more scary than looking at you.
Let's get Penny to come on. And so we're just riding along on a trail ride. Here comes the scary object. So if Tough is moving along, I'm going to keep him bent and looking at it until he relaxes and the scary object goes by. Well, DP didn't get upset. So that's what you want to do. You want to control that. And you have to set this up first with teaching your horse how to bend. And two, teaching them to bend and come to a stop and hurry up and relax. That's what we're all about, getting your horse to hurry up and relax. Okay, David, now we're going to talk about an emergency dismount. But you got to remember, before any of this happens, if that little voice in the back of your head says, I better get off, get off. There's no shame in getting off your horse and working them through an issue or a problem or something that's scary, because I would rather have the opportunity to get back on my horse that day instead of 3 months from now after I get out of the hospital. So as we get older, we don't heal as good.
No.
But what's going to happen here is if we've already kind of taught our horse how to bend, and our horse is beginning to buck, and that little voice in the back of our head says it's time to get off, or our horse is trying to bolt and run away from us, and we think it's time to get off, or our horse is starting to rear up, and we think it's time to get off, get off. So, and if we can practice getting off in an emergency situation, we've already kind of prepared ourselves. So now we've got, again, muscle memory. We're preparing ourselves, we're preparing our horse, and we can learn how to do it so that it comes second nature. So I've kind of got a little Makati set up here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go off over this way, and you want to start off at a walk. So if I'm going to have to get off my horse, I'm going to reach down, bend them, and then step off here. So if I've got my horse bent, they're going to go away from me, okay? So if they're in just such a panic mode and I've bent that body, that horse is going to go away from me, okay? And try and practice it on both sides. Practice it at a walk. Pick it up to a trot. Practice it at a canter. The more you can practice that, the better off you're going to be. Now here are some steps that need to go along with that, Dave.
All right, let me mop back up here, Brother Joe.
Step one is you're going to be reaching down and bending. Step two, you got to kick your leg out of that stirrup. Step three, maybe even get your leg out of the inside stirrup. Get it out and roll forward. And if something happens and you're going to roll on your shoulder, okay?
Because you're going to be you're going to be at a pretty good clip possibly, right?
Right. Try to kick your feet out of the stirrups, bend that horse, and send him on away from you. So go ahead and you try it real quick, and I'll watch you. That's good. Now maybe even try kicking your feet out of the stirrups and come on around. And try it at a little jog.
Folks, DP's used to me coming off, not quite like that, but get after old Borhall. So he's just trying to figure out what's going on here.
Maybe try picking it up to a little jog now. You kind of got it at a walk. Maybe kick both feet out of the stirrups. Bend that horse and come on. Get off of him. Yeah. See how you go away from your horse. If he's going to rear up and fall down or take off, at least you're on your feet. Hey folks, if you're interested in having Perfect Partners come to your place, or you'd like to come to one of our clinics, just go to www.perfectpartnersequine.com and give us a call, give us a holler, or send us an email. We'll be there to help you. Thank you.
When you hear the name Earnhardt, you might not immediately think of farming. But my family's been at it for years, just like Nationwide Agribusiness. In fact, they're the #1 farm insurer in the nation. And with their On Your Side Farm Review, you get a personalized policy for your farm with the coverage you need at the right price for you. My family's trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. To find out why, call your Nationwide Agribusiness agent today.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones time and time again. Then along came the Michelin man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Michelin Hydro Edge tires last up to 33,000 miles longer. Michelin, a better way forward.
Folks, the Pee Dee Cowboy arrives for the brand, and my brand is Carolina Fresh Foods. We have a new product out on the range. So ride on into your local Piggly Wiggly or other fine retailer and ask for Carolina Fresh Premium Leg Quarter. And folks, if they don't have one in the corral, tell them to get cracking and call the old Pee Dee Cowboy and his elite posse of chicken wranglers. Carolina Fresh Foods, the name says it all. We are Freshalicious.
2014 is the year of the horse. South Carolina's horse industry is one of the best kept secrets in the state, with a huge economic impact. The thoroughbred racing industry alone is worth about $200 million in our state. We have dozens of training tracks in rural areas, in addition to the ones in Aiken and Camden. Horses provide jobs all over South Carolina. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to promote your horses and your business.
Joe, folks, we should have had this as a blooper, but anyway, we're trying to get our serious space back on here and everything, because Joe, I'm a work in progress. All right, Joe, have at it.
So, Dave, what we talked about is a lot about safety, but along with safety goes learning to read your horse. Figuring out what happens before what happens, because we've always heard so many people say, well, I was just riding along and I don't know what happened, but he just bucked me off. So, listen to that little voice inside. If it says get off, get off. Then start learning how to read your horse and know what they're going to do before what they do. There's a lot more that goes into that, and we can always cover that on another show or some other time or come to one of our clinics. But that's as important as anything, listening to the voice inside your head.
Well, we were at supper last night, and I'll share this with the folks. My horses, when I go hunting, they got a routine. They know when I crank the truck up and hook up the trailer, they've become hard to catch. And I went out the other morning just to feed up in the morning. I normally don't go out that time. And I told you a story about my 3 geldings going out there starting and running and kicking and carrying on. And he said they were doing just that. Start thinking about what was going to happen before it happened, right? So horses...
That's it. Horses are very good at anticipating what we're going to do. They know what's happening before what's happened, or what we're going to do. So they're very good at that. So if we can start learning to read that and using that to our favor, we can then help them and start training them to do what we're asking of them and not just what they're going to go do.
Well, Joe, I appreciate this because I've gone and covered some of your clinics, but I was over there filming, and I've never have really sat down and really listened to you like I have. You was down a couple months ago and really helped me on some things that I've used out when I was hunting. So, Joe, I think we're going to have to make a 2-parter out of this. What do you think?
Oh, I'm fine.
Good. So we're going to come back next week, folks, and really cover some more things. And, folks, and until next week, keep your reins low and your hands quiet. And I'm going to say, folks, get out your comfort zone. This old cowboy can get a guy like Joe Most to come down here and work on me. Anybody can. And folks, like I say, keep your reins low and your hands quiet, and God is blessing this great country of ours.
Yeah.